Alrighty, so first question, Jane, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
What do you do when a client first discovers you? Like, how do you seal the deal for that first impression to bring them back to actually make a purchase?
I think first impression is to just be authentic. I always like the first impression or the first feel of virgin, which is I want them to experience virgin in authenticity. Because we're an online business and our price point is $600 to $4,000 on average. So it's important for them to feel comfortable, feel safe. So just being transparent with our policies, our procedure, letting them know how long we've been in business, give them access to your reviews. So we just put everything up front so the client doesn't even have to question. That's how sometimes it comes off as a lot. Okay, but I'd rather just us letting the client feel comfortable with purchasing off the top.
I get it. I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is to not have the customer feel pressured into buying anything, right?
Exactly.
Like it has to be something that they feel that they're making that choice for themselves.
For sure. I always feel like, that car, they always, the car salesman, pitch like, for hair, for me, beauty is so personal that if they love their hair, they love how they look, they're gonna come back.
100%.
So it's important for you to facilitate that so it can work out.
That experience.
Exactly. So they can come back. That's the whole point. Repeat buyers. So yes.
All right, cool.
How do you create that environment for repeat clients? For example, let me ask you this question. What is your go-to move for making a client feel VIP when they walk in, like when they just come into your establishment?
Oh man, it depends on the situation, Let's say it's a couple coming in for their anniversary, right? We would have known that because they would have left a note in the reservation that they're celebrating their anniversary. So what I would do to make that night very memorable is one, either create a very unique dish just for the two of them, or we would create some kind of message on a plate. We would send them a round of drinks, just to kind of toast, just to make the night even more special, right? Even more memorable. So, those would be some of the things I would do to just make that night more memorable. If it's a kid and it's a birthday party, we'll send out a special cake, happy birthday on the cake, a candle, some liquid nitrogen, just make it real nice, all the sparkles and glitter. Yeah, it's hospitality, baby.
Very nice. I like that.
That's what we do.
I love that.
All right, Jane, next question.
I'm ready.
How do you let your customers, your valued clients, feel seen, heard, and just appreciated in the first 3 minutes of dealing with you and your business?
I think it's asking questions. I think for me, I have questions that I ask my clients to allow me to serve them better. Like, what kind of lifestyle do you have? Do you work out? How many days a week do you work out? What kind of workout do you do? Because some people just run and some people do martial arts. Two different activities, where you need a certain type of hairstyle to go. So asking your clients questions and really listening for me has really helped me, because then they feel heard. Like now I'm catering my offerings to what they need. So I have a better chance of marrying that together, and that's the whole point of the relationship anyway. She didn't come to say hello, she came to solve her problem. So anything that's going to allow me to help solve that problem much quicker and more efficiently, I will definitely go for that. So for me, it's getting the right information, asking the right questions. It allows my client to feel like, oh, she cares, like she, So I'm speaking from her perspective.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Putting your foot in their shoes.
100%. So chef, how does your plating kind of seal that first impression? How does it play into first impression with you plating a dish?
I think of it this way, right? People eat with their eyes.
Yes.
So you go to this amazing restaurant, you've been hearing about it, you get there and the food gets presented in front of you and it's just a hot mess. Like the noodles are hanging off the side of the plate, it's dirty, the sauce is not wiped, it's not clean, it's not a cohesive, like it looks like something you did at home without caring, right, then that automatically just kills that first impression, right? So it's from the greeting, from the time the customer comes into the restaurant to the server greeting them at the table. You know, if it's a special occasion, you know, a chef or a manager coming up to the table, touching the table, saying hi, hello, just kind of putting things in perspective with the clients, you know, things like that, I would say would be how I would handle that situation, you know.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Good answer, chef.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, Jane. As the professional hairstylist industry extraordinaire you are,
Aw.
what is one thing that you would say hairstylists and the people that are doing hair is doing wrong when they first interact with a customer? Like, what would something you would say someone's doing that the minute they land that customer, as they're sitting in the chair, they're like, I'm not coming back here? Like, what would that be?
I think it's empathy. You know, I think if people can just have more empathy, put yourself in the client's, that's why a lot of the policies that we have at the Virgin Hair Fantasy came about, because I want to be treated that way. Like, okay, like the upgrade program, for example, where you buy a wig and after 3-4 years you can bring it in and we kind of give you credit towards something else. That came about because that's how I want to be treated.
True.
You know, I would love somebody to do that for me. Or maybe the no hassle exchange policy. I think when you create your business around putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, how you would want to be treated, it just allows you to give them a different level of service.
True that.
So when you have empathy, it guides you in your offerings and how you treat the client, how you talk to the client, your tone, your communication with the client.
Well said.
All of the above.
Well said, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for answering my fireside questions.
You had some good questions.
You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to get
I was
in the
scared.
mind.
I was a little nervous. I'm like,
Just trying to get in the mind of you so the people can know more about the business that you do.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
What's that?
Chef Ed, my final question is, what is that tiny detail that you have like added to a dining experience that made a huge impression?
Made a huge impression. I remember a couple came to one of the resorts I was working in. We were opening up 2 restaurants and we were training the staff, and I saw this family and they were just having brunch. It was a Saturday or Sunday, probably a Saturday, and I just wanted to make sure that they felt welcomed, and if they needed anything, to let them know that, you know, there was people around that could help them. So I just went and I touched the table, and touching the table just means that I went up to the table and spoke to the guests.
Love that.
Right? So I just went up to the dad and the mom, was like, hey, how you guys doing? Just wanted to make sure you're okay. How is everything? How are you enjoying it? And that to them was one of the biggest things that could have happened that day, right? Or in their lifetime, in terms of, you know, a chef coming up and talking to them and just, you know, speaking, just because you don't realize sometimes when you're out, like, it's nice to have the chef come up and say, hello, how you doing, how's everything? You know, sometimes you want to be alone and you're in your mood and you're vibing, but there are times where it's important. You know, how do you know when it's important? You really don't. So,
but I'll rather be annoyed by a chef making sure I'm okay than to be ignored.
There you go.
So I'd rather say, oh, they were just checking up on me too much.
Yeah, and it's a one-time checkup thing, so
Yeah.
that would not bother you, right?
It
You
won't,
know?
yeah.
Exactly.
I get it. I get what you're doing. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Even if I want to be left alone, I'm not mad.
And we won't know that, but the fact that we just came and said,
It's very kind. I
Exactly.
like that. I
so,
like that.
you know, that was just really cool, you know, in terms of talking to that family. They really appreciated it, and you know, it just made the overall experience even better. So I would say that was
That's fantastic.
a plus.
Just by touching the table, you said.
Yes.
It's a kitchen term, right? Okay.
You know, it's one of our lingo slang.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you come back next week for another episode.
Yeah.
What's next week's episode?
Next week's episode, we're talking about branding and image.
That's right. Branding
Your image and branding.
image. All right.
So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Remember to
subscribe,
turn on your notifications,
like,
comment,
share. We're
and
excited to hear from you, right?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, if you're new to business, if you're new to e-commerce, if you're looking for help. Please, by any means, let us know. Send us a message.
Please,
email us.
DM
Like
us.
we will be more than happy to help point you in the right direction. We've been in business for over 15 years. Yeah, almost 20 years actually.
Almost 20 years.
Right?
Yes.
And yeah, we've been working for ourselves since 2010, at least.
Yes.
Right? Officially, anyway.
Officially 2010.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's 15 years this year.
Yeah.
So, peace out.
We look forward to hearing
Ladies
from
and
you.
gentlemen.
Have a wonderful day. Bye. Hello, Chef. I'm here with the famous Chef Ed. What's up? What's up?
Whenever you're ready, Jane. Let's go. Like I touch you.
I love it.